Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of the Mr. Islam Answers Back show. Oh man, today we got a good topic for you today. Today we have another good topic dealing with some recent events in the news. So we're gonna go ahead and give the viewers a few moments to join in. Let me go ahead and send out some tweets so we can get this thing started and get this thing going. All right, let's go ahead and send out excuse me, a few tweets. Let everybody know that we are in the house and we got a show. Let's get this thing going. Hold on a second. We're just giving everybody a few moments to join in, so just give us a few moments while I have. Let me send out some tweets to let everybody know that we're live there, so you can join in. Live. All right. Welcome to the show. Those who are coming in, like I said, we're just giving everybody just a few moments to get in while I send out some tweets and let everybody know that the show has begun. We got a very good topic for you today. Like I said, very good topic going on, dealing with the current events that are taking place right now. All right. So if you can, do me a favor, share, send out some tweets on your Instagram, or not tweets on your, but send out some tweets on your Twitter, send out some posts on your Instagram, your Facebook, let everybody know that we have a live show going on. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me send something on Facebook as well. Let's send something out on Facebook to let everybody know what's going on. Let's send some tweets. Some tweets, man. Let everybody know what's the deal, what's happening here. Weird, man. Be sending like old pictures, still having old pictures that are not that picture. The current picture. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. Let me see. How can I add the right picture here? Hmm. Weird, man. I don't understand how this thing still has like old pictures that from other shows that I've done. It's like behind. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get that. Oh well. Let's see here. Hopefully it'll post the right thing. All right. Let's give it one more minute. One more minute. 5 minutes. Let me send out one more tweet. One more tweet. Still posting the same? Man, I hate that. Let me just send one more tweet. Let everybody know we're live. Right now. Okay. And there we go. All right, yes. Let's see how that's coming up on Twitter. And then we'll get started with this very interesting topic we have here. Interesting topic we have here. Okay. And like I said, I don't know why it still shows the old picture, but it always shows the old picture from the last show that I did. It's like never, it's always behind. But that's fine. All right, let's get it started. And it's still showing the old title too. Why is it showing the old title? I hate that, man. All right. In any case, let us begin. Let's get down with this thing. Let's get going with this. Wa alaikum salam, Muhammad Zakaria, reasonable faith. Yeah, we just started. We just started. So, like I said, can you do me a favor? Just send out, if you have Twitter, send out some tweets on your Twitter. Send out a post on your Facebook, your Instagram, and let everybody know that we're live on here. All right, so let's get started with this. Let's get started with this. So, as you see, today's subject is the Muslim U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has been condemned for what we would say telling the truth, and the powers that be are scared. Right? They're scared. Okay. Now I know the sister may have some other political issues that, you know, as far as the American politics are concerned, that we may not all agree with, right? So we get that. But dealing with this fact here is that she's in trouble, or she got in trouble because she posted or she tweeted a tweet about the lobbyists in the United States. The lobbyists are people or organizations or groups or corporations or whatever that will, what they call, lobby politicians, right, to do, to either pass certain laws or remove certain laws or try to get certain things done or passed in favor of a group, either a group, an organization, like, they have pharmaceutical lobbyists who will pay politicians to, or support politicians, and then in return, these politicians will perhaps pass a law that will allow this company or these companies to allow certain drugs to be put on the market for sale. And, I've seen some documentaries where they pass laws which can keep these companies from getting in trouble. Like some of these drugs, may cause side effects or may cause death or something of this sort. And then the documentary that I saw showed that, these lobby groups got these politicians to like institute certain laws where if you got sick from one of these drugs or if you died from one of these drugs, you couldn't sue the companies. So I was like, man, how is this allowed? How are they allowed to do stuff like this? Because this is clearly, it's clearly wrong. But they're paying them. And so in this case, she was referring to the American Israeli lobby group that pays politicians to, support Israel, basically, right? So it was a tweet from a Mr. Glenn. Let me pull that up so you guys can take a look at it. All right, let me pull that up so you can take a look at what the tweet was, and so you can see. Okay, let's see. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay, here it is right here. All right, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so as you see here on the screen, right? As you see here on the screen, this was the tweet that, got her in trouble. She retweeted a tweet from Glenn Greenwald, who's a journalist, and he was saying GOP leader Kevin McCarthy threatens punishment for Ilhan and Rashida, which is another female Muslim congresswoman, over their criticisms of Israel. It's stunning how much time U.S. U.S. political leaders spend defending a foreign nation, even if it means attacking free speech rights of Americans. And that's correct. That's correct. We've talked about this before on previous shows where we've talked about how, some of these politicians, they go more out of their way for Israel. They act like Israel is a part of the United States or something, right? They campaign so hard for Israel that you would think that Israel is one of the 50 states or something, or the 51st state of the United States, or it's our country, It's like, yo, it's a foreign country. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And why do they even have lobbyists allowed? Why? That's the other thing that boggles my mind. Why does a foreign country even have a lobby group that's allowed to do that in our country? right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that happen? But we all know we know what's going on, right? So she retweeted it, and in her retweet, she says that it's all about the Benjamins, baby, right? Now, for those of you who may not be familiar, the Benjamins is a slang in the United States for the money, right? Another word for the money, particularly the big money. Benjamins, that's a reference to the $100 bill of U.S. currency, which has the president um, man, I forgot the guy's last name. um, Mr. Benjamin on it, right? I can't believe I forgot his name. But it has an old, one of the what they call the U.S. founding fathers, Mr. Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin. There you go. Yeah, Benjamin Franklin is on the $100 bill. So that's a slang for the Benjamins, which is the big money. The $100, the hundreds of dollars, $100 bill. He's on that, right? So in other words, she's basically saying that it's about the money. It's all about the money, which she's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. It is about the money, right? It is about the money because these politicians get paid, right? They get paid. Their campaigns are supported, or they get money. And of course, we know the deal, right? If somebody gives you that money, well, what you gonna do? You gotta obviously, if you take the money, that means you're in the pocket. That means you're in the pocket. So now I gave you that money. I gave you $1,000, 3,000, 5, 10, 20. These politicians get different amounts. There's a list too that's out there where you can see the differing amount. I think I might have even brought this up in one of my past shows. I think we've talked about this before as well, where I showed and we talked about some of the different amounts that this APAC gives to politicians, right? So you're in the pocket. You're in the pocket. And so you know how that goes. We all know how that goes. When you're in the pocket, either if you take the money, then that means you got to do what we need you to do, right? You got to do it. If you refuse it, then okay, fine, you don't get the money. You know what I'm saying? So she said that's what it's about. It's about the money. So after this, she got condemned for being a supposed anti-Semite. They started calling her anti-Semitic. That she's anti-Semitic, and she's using a Jewish conspiracy thing. No, 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 no. This is not about Jewish conspiracy. This is about Israel. See, this is the game that they want to play, right? This is the game that they want to play. So that they want to take legitimate criticism, right? They want to play this game and take legitimate criticism and then throw in the, this is anti-Semitism claim to try to shut you up from, that's the perfect way to put it, reasonable faith. Exactly. Lobbying equals persuading power. That's a beautiful way to put it. Beautiful way to put it. So what they do, right? So now because she criticized them with some actual facts and truth, they want to take this and try to shut her up by saying, oh, anti-Semite, anti-Semite, right? So first things first is, no, she's not an anti-Semite or anti-Semitic, because she's a Semite herself. More Semitic than probably these white Jews that are over in Israel anyway. She's more Semitic than they are. If they're even Semitic at all, coming from Germany and Poland and Russia and America, right? Why is she Semitic? Well, what's the definition of Semitic? The definition of a Semite is a person or group from the Semitic cultures and languages. Well, Islam is of the Semitic culture and language, right? Arabic is a Semitic language. That's the language of Islam, right? That's a Semitic language. The culture is Semitic. It comes from a Semitic culture. She's from Somalia, which what they speak some Arabic in the mix of their language, which has Arabic involved in it, and it's a Semitic culture as well. So she can't be anti-Semitic because she's a Semite herself. So they've monopolized this word, So what they really mean is that. So what they should just say is this: just even though it's false, is to just say, look, you're claiming that she's anti-Jewish. Really, she's not. She's speaking against Israel, which is legitimate. Israel is wrong. Israel has been doing wrong in oppressing the Palestinian and mistreating and abusing the Palestinian people. And others. Hell, we talked about this before, where African migrants were being treated racistly in in Israel as well. So it's not just Palestinians. There was stuff that came out over the summer last year of how Israel, African migrants were being mistreated, and they were talking about deporting them and getting them out. We saw the videos of Israelis marching in the streets, calling these people all kind of names and telling them they're going to deport them and get that kind of stuff, right? But this is the game that they play, that when you legitimately criticize Israel, oh, they want to label you, right? They want to label you anti-Semite, anti-Jewish, when no, you're not talking about all Jews. You're talking about what Israel is doing wrong. But they want to shut you up. So they're trying to shut the sister up. But I see on Twitter many people are standing with her, and I stand with the sister, right? Ilhan, you stand strong, sister. You keep speaking that truth. You keep letting us know what's going on. See? Because what she's doing, actually, she's letting us know what's going on for real. And she's speaking out about it. Because, right, she's young. She's young. So mashallah, she got put up in there. And I know some Muslims are against, voting and getting involved in the politics and all that stuff like that. Whatever your position is, that's what your position is. But hey, she's in there now. Right? She's in there now. And in a sense, I feel that in a way that, it's kind of, in a sense, it's good, because we need somebody in there who can put forward our positions, right? Put forward everybody else does it, right? Everybody else puts their positions forward, the immigrants, Hispanic, gay community. So why can't the Muslims also have somebody? We're part of this country too. So why shouldn't we be involved? Right? Why shouldn't we be involved to talk about this issue, and for her to put the Muslim agenda forward, right? The Muslim American agenda forward. Why not? See? But this is why they're scared. Because there's a couple of new and young politicians that have been elected now, and they like what's her name? Alexandria Cortez, another one. Hispanic congresswoman who just got elected as well. She's also young, and she's also challenging the power structure, right? Hopefully they can keep strong and people don't try to destroy them, right? Hopefully people won't try to destroy them. You see? But they're in there, and they see what's going on in the system, and because they're young and energetic, they're speaking out against the wrongs, while all these other old ass politicians who've been in there for years and just going along with the power structure, and believe me, it's both sides, it's Democrats, Republicans, both sides are bought out by the Israeli lobby. And that's when I said Israeli. I ain't talking about Jews. I'm talking about Israeli lobby. All right? We're not talking about Jews here. We're talking about a country that is oppressing and mistreating people, not Jews. I'm making my point clear. So don't you dare come and try to claim that I'm running some anti-Jew. No, we're not talking about Jews. We're talking about a country that has been mistreating, abusing, and oppressing Muslim people and others. That's what we're talking about. I want to make my point very clear. Very clear. But that's the BS game that they play. See? They want to try to shut you up for criticizing Israel and try to scare you off with, oh, anti-Jew. No. I have no problem with Jews. Okay? This is not about Jews. This is about what Israel is doing. Okay? So we will make that point clear. Right? We want to make that point clear. Okay? Who's this? What's this nonsense you're talking here? Punk? Coming on my tweet. Coming on my program with this nonsense. All right? Get out of here. I'll remove everything you said. I'll remove everything you said. Right? See, now they want to send their now, yeah, I'm gonna put you in timeout. There you go. Now they want to send their trolls in. Now they want to try to send their trolls in to try to distract us and shut us up from telling the truth. Nah, it's not gonna happen. The powers that be are scared. They're scared because these new people that are getting in, they're not towing the line. They're not going along. They're not from the elite. See, these politicians that have been in there for decades and years, they just keep doing the same old, same BS. And it doesn't matter whether they're Democrat or Republican, they both support Israel, man. They both do the same garbage, same nonsense. So in a way, I'm happy that these new young people are getting in there and they're starting to challenge what's the norm. They're challenging the norm. We need that. We need new people. I always felt, matter of fact, I think that they should put a term limit on Congress people. Because some of these people, because the president, right? The president has a term. He can only be elected twice. I think we need to do that with politicians, because some of these politicians have been in there for decades, man. Some of them have been in there for 20 years, 30 years. It's time to go. They should have a term limit. Maybe give them 5 years or something. Maybe even less than that, maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? Give them a term. So that way new and fresh ideas can always come in instead of these old elites who stay in there and keep, towing the same line. I believe, and I pray, inshallah, that one day they do that they come up and decide, you know what, we need to put limits on Congress people. Congress people and representative, you need term limits. You can't keep getting elected 10 years, 20 years and all that. No, you gotta leave after a certain amount of time. Two wings of the, exactly, Charles, exactly. Two wings of the same bird, exactly. So I think they should put some limits on congresspersons that they can only serve, maybe give them 5 years and that's it. Then after that, that's it. Time for new people. You know what I mean? So that way new, fresh ideas can come in. New people, young, new, fresh ideas. Instead of having these same old ass people staying in there, repeating the same nonsense, letting the same stuff go on and on and on. So, so that's what I'm saying, is that they're scared. They're scared of Alexandra. They're scared of the sister Ilhan. They're scared of the other Muslim sister, right? But, inshallah, as more goes on and more Muslims become politically active and get involved, the power structure is going to change. See? Israel, I can see why you're scared. The Israel lobby. I can see why you're scared, see? Because if more politicians like her get in there, oh yeah, America's policy is going to change. It's going to change. And I'm not talking about that it's going to turn into a Muslim country or Muslim Sharia. I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying that these people will get in there and you're going to lose your power structure. You're going to lose. And that's why you're scared. That's why you're trying to destroy her now. But if more Muslims start to follow behind her and others and start getting elected, oh yeah, your days are numbered. America's policy in favor of you, Israel, is numbered. And I know you're scared about that. But so be it. So be it. Maybe we'll finally get some justice. Maybe we'll finally get some people in there who will stop supporting Israel unconditionally and start to really challenge you on your human rights violations against the Palestinians. See? So that's what they're worried about. Right? That's what they're worried about. Right, exactly. She's not a corporatist. She's not pro-Israel. So if more if more Muslims start getting elected, or more conscious people start getting elected whose eyes are open about what Israel has done and is doing, oh yeah, it's gonna change the whole structure, man. Things are gonna change. Things are gonna change, and that's what these people are afraid of, right? There's an awakening taking place. Even in Black America, there's a thing going on now with with elections going on, where Black Americans are demanding certain things as well. So people are waking up. People are waking up, and these old politicians, they're not going to be able to keep running this game. So I hope more young and vibrant people who are aware of what's going on in this world will start going to get involved and get elected and change the way America's policy has been. You see? But yeah, now here's the thing. Now, yeah, they made her apologize. They made her apologize. Matter of fact, here I got the article right here. They made her apologize because that's how they do, right? That's how they do. They had to put pressure on her, right? They had to put pressure on her, and so they pushed her to apologize, right? So here's the article about that. Yeah, they did. They made her apologize. Let me show you the article. So yeah, so they made her apologize, right? But check out what she did though. What I like that she did. Here's what she did that I like what she did. All right. So yeah, they made her apologize, right? But check this out. Here's what when she apologized, she still kind of like stood her ground in her apology. So check it out. Just what she said. This is what she says. She says, you see it on the screen. She says, anti-Semitism is real, and I am grateful for Jewish allies and colleagues who are educating me on the painful history of anti-Semitic tropes. Which it really wasn't anti-Semitic, but okay. We know how the game goes, right? That's how the game goes. It really wasn't anti-Semitic. She was just pointing out that the Israeli lobby, which is the Israeli state, not Jewish people, the Israeli state has this lobby that has people in America grabbed by the private parts and has them by the private parts, and basically they are shaping U.S. foreign policy in favor of Israel, and we don't need that. Israel is its own country. America is its own country. We wouldn't allow that. I talked about this before, right? We wouldn't allow that from another country, right? We wouldn't allow that. If it was any other country than Israel, the United States would not allow that, right? We wouldn't allow other countries to be trying to influence our politicians and stuff like that in favor of their country, right? We would consider this a violation of our country's rights, correct? But for some reason, it's okay for Israel to do it. But check it out. Like I said, check out what she said, though. She said, my intention is never to offend my constituents or Jewish Americans as a whole. We have to always be willing to step back and think through criticism, just as I expect people to hear me when others attack me for my identity. This is why I unequivocally apologize. Now, check this out, though. She says, at the same time, I reaffirm the problematic role of lobbyists in our politics, whether it be AIPAC, which is what she was talking about, the American Israeli campaign committee or something of this sort, right? The NRA or fossil fuel industry. It's gone too long, and we must be willing to address it. So, correct. So she still made her point that, okay, I'm gonna apologize, but I'm still basically holding on to the point that these lobbyists are a problem, including the AIPAC lobby. So good. She reiterated. Yeah, she apologized, but she still said, look, I'm basically still saying that these lobbyists is a problem. And she's right. And she's right. So I'm glad that I'm glad at least she's still staying. I'm glad it wasn't just like, okay, I'm sorry. She's still like, yo, I'm sorry, but I'm still standing on that point. So good, sister. Keep standing. Keep standing on that point. Keep standing on that point. Okay? Because it is indeed a problem, right? It is indeed a problem. No doubt about it, it's a problem. So, like I said, these people that are in high places, they are indeed running scared. They're not ready. They're not used to this. They're not used to having some politicians who are not, influenced by the Israeli lobby. And I think we need more policies like that. To me, man, they should get rid of the lobby groups completely. Nobody should be able to buy politicians out like this at all. Nobody should be able to do that. If you want to donate to a politician, donate, but no, it can't be, well, where any deals are made. It should be like neutral. If you want to support, you support, but none of this lobby nonsense. Especially when you're paying. Now, if you as a group, and as Americans, not Israelis, as Americans, if you need some issues for your group in America, if you're Latino or you're a Black American or you're Arab American or women groups or whatever, children's groups, something of this, for people who advocate for children or whatever, if there's stuff like that, yeah, but it shouldn't involve money though, right? I shouldn't have to buy my politician in order for you to do something for me, right? Now, we give money to donate because we support you, cool, but not money because, hey, I want you to do this for me. If your job is to serve the people, which is what the politicians are supposed to be doing, then serve the people, whether they give you money or not. Serve the people who you say you represent. Serve their interests, serve their agenda, bring their agenda to the larger government, etc. But no, they shouldn't be able to buy you out. Right? They shouldn't be able to buy you out, man. So this lobby stuff should be disallowed. In my opinion, it really should be disallowed. Like I said, I'm not against groups that need, that have specific agendas and they need whoever represents them to take care of that agenda. Cool. And again, I'm talking about Americans. Foreign countries should have no say whatsoever, really. There should be no foreign countries allowed to lobby our politicians at all, in fact. Any foreign policy agendas that made should be made from the citizens themselves. Let the citizens and those who represent them decide what we want to do, whatever foreign countries or our foreign policies are going to be. But no foreign government should have no lobbyist groups to lobby politicians so they can do stuff in favor of their country. What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? What the hell is that for real? But yeah, so like I said, she apologized. They made her apologize. They forced her to apologize. But like I said, I'm glad that in her apology, she still included that she's still calling out the lobbyist. So good for you, sister. Good way to, get that in there. And then here, check this article out here. Check this article out. This article says that she's right. Right? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Did I show you guys the tweet? Let me see. Let me put that on the screen. Hold on a second. Here it is right here. My bad. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, there you go, right there. So yeah, there you go. You can see what she said. There's her statement in her apology of what she said right there. At the same time, the second paragraph. At the same time, I reaffirm the problematic role of lobbyists in our politics. And she's right. And the other day, what's her name? Alexandra Cortez. She did the same thing. I saw a little clip of her when she was talking to some of the other lawmakers about how some of these groups can, like, basically get politicians to make deals and pay money, and they can basically, um, do whatever, basically. All they got to do is get the money, make the deals, and they can actually pass certain laws to favor a company, the corporate groups, or whoever like that. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely need to change that. So I pray, hopefully, these young ladies can make a change in that direction. Probably won't be able to, because I'm sure these corporations have a lot of money, and most of the other politicians are already paid for and bought. So it may be hard, but maybe in the future, as more and more people get involved and young people can get elected with the right way of thinking, think these things can be changed. You know what I'm saying? So here, let me show you the article that said that she's right. It's from this magazine called Jacobin. It says Ilhan Omar was right. So let me show you that one. Yeah, this one says she was right. Right? It says Ilhan was right. It says Ilhan Omar is being attacked for telling the truth. Right, yeah, just like the title of this video. The influence on AIPAC on U.S. policy towards Israel has been a disaster. On Sunday evening, Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan, excuse me, I'm saying her name wrong, really. Ilhan Omar made a true statement in response to reports that House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy had pledged to take action against Omar and her colleague Rashida Tlaib for alleged so-called anti-Semitism in their criticism of Israel, of the Israeli government. And yeah, that's the game they play. When you criticize the Israeli government, they want to claim that you're being anti-Semitic. But you're not. You're criticizing a state that has human rights violations that have been going on for decades. But that's how they want to try to shut you up, by charging anti-Semitism. And it's funny how they always want to charge, in this case, people who are Semitic themselves. Both of these sisters are Semitic people. So, but they're charging them to be how can they be anti-Semitic? Just say anti-Israel, but they don't want to say that. See, they want to try to, instead of saying anti-Israel, they think they can get you by saying anti-Semitic, and in your mind, oh, oh my God, they're being they're being bigoted against Jews. Don't be fooled by that. Anti-Semite doesn't really mean anti-Jewish. Don't fall for that. We talked about this before as well. Look up the definition of Semite. Semite means a person or group from the Semitic cultures or language. So if you're anti-Semite, that means you are anti-people from the Semitic cultures and languages. That doesn't mean Semitic, doesn't mean Jewish. Right? Semite doesn't mean Jewish. But they played that game and say, oh, no. If I'm anti-Semitic, that means I'm anti-people of the Semitic cultures, which include the Arabs, which includes Islam, Muslims, people from Somalia, from Saudi Arabia, from Egypt, from the Middle East, right? It doesn't mean Jewish. It includes Ethiopia. It includes the Aramaic language. It includes the Ethiopic language, the Syriac language. All of these cultures are considered Semitic. Somehow they duped the world into taking it that this means anti-Jewish. No. So why don't they call her anti-Israel instead? Well, like I said, if they call her anti-Israel, that would more focus her. That would show that her focus is Israel. See? So they try to say, oh no, anti-Semitic. She's in other words, anti-Jewish, but that's a false accusation because she's talking about what Israel is doing. So that don't be fooled by that trick. Don't be fooled by that trick. So they said while it's possible that Omar was alluding to Israeli Prime Minister, no, she wasn't really, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whose political interests do align neatly with the GOP's. The most straightforward interpretation of her tweet is that Benjamin refers to the vast sums of money that pro-Israel lobbyists have spent to ensure that critics of Israel, like Omar and Tlaib, have as little influence as possible. Omar's point may have been incomplete or imprecise, but it's a big leap to call it anti-Semitism. Unfortunately, it's a leap many critics were eager to take, including the House Democratic leadership, which yesterday afternoon put out a statement condemning Omar and calling on her to apologize. She quickly did. So yeah, they put the pressure on her. That's how the game gets. That's how the game is played. So they put the pressure on you, you apologize. But like I said, I'm glad that in her apology, she still made it a point to say, I'm still calling out the lobbyists. I'm still calling out AIPAC. Good for you, sister. Good for you. Good for you. So, like I said, this article goes on to talk about, the sums of money that the AIPAC really does pay. Right? You see? This is a facile accusation. It says the Israeli lobby, especially AIPAC, has long greased the wheels of American politics by bundling millions of dollars for campaign contributions and spending further millions on sending politicians and journalists on junkets to Israel, where they meet with government officials and absorb pro-Israel talking points under the thin pretense of fact-finding missions. However earnest these groups may be about their support of Israel, they are explicitly in the business of trading influence for money. And I agree, this needs to stop. And that's what she's talking about. This needs to stop. This isn't limited to AIPAC. For instance, casino magnate and right-wing Israel supporter Sheldon Adelson and his wife Miriam spent $55 million in the 2018 election cycle to maintain Republican control of Congress. You see? So, this is the game. This is the game that's played. And what's this they say? In recent years, the interests of these groups have dovetailed with those of Saudi Arabia and other Gulf monarchies, defense contractors, millenarian evangelical Christian Zionists, and other assorted war hawks. And you know what? It's funny that they mentioned Saudi Arabia, because guess what? There's articles about that as well. That Saudi Arabia, through their publications, was also trying to ruin this sister's run to be a congresswoman. Here's an article right here from the Business Insider that talks about that. It says Ilhan Omar secures place on powerful House committee that could stop the U.S. from selling arms to the kingdom. Right? Ilhan Omar, the Muslim congresswoman in Saudi Arabia, tried to smear. So they tried to smear her. Because again, the people in power are afraid of people like this. They're afraid of you being a critical thinker, an independent thinker. See? They want you to toe the line and keep things as they are. So they're afraid of people like her. So even the Saudis, according to this article, tried to destroy her. from getting elected. Tried to say she was part of the Muslim Brotherhood and that kind of nonsense, that she support terrorists. You would think that they would support a fellow Muslim sister. You would think so, right? You would think that they would be in favor of a Muslim sister. Why would they be against a Muslim sister being elected in the United States? Why would they be against that? Well, those of you who know what the deal is, you already know the answer to that. You already know the answer to that. Right? You already know the answer to that question. But yeah, they tried to smear her, but she got elected anyway. And as I said, as more and more people like her, if more Muslims run, more young people run, more conscious young people run, if more Muslims run and start getting elected, oh yeah, things are going to change. Things are going to change for those in power, for the powers that be. Things are going to really change. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Things are going to really change. And that's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. So back to what I was saying from this article here that was saying that she's right. She's right about what she was saying about these lobby groups and such. You see? She said it says the Israel lobby is indeed a big tent, and it has welcome in a wide range of right-wing interests that extend beyond the American Jewish community. There was another article that I was reading too that talked about how, another reason for this Israeli support stuff is because there's we got a lot of what they call right-wing evangelical Christians who have they support Israel on their religious fanaticism, right? They support Israel on the case of their religious fanaticism. And this is something that I've talked about in some of my older videos, where some of these people who are politicians, they're trying to run the government based upon their Christian end times belief, which they believe that that if they can support Israel, and some even if they can even exacerbate the tensions in Israel, that this will make Jesus come back sometime sooner. Yeah, that's how sick these people are. They don't really care for Israel, right? They don't really care for Israel because according to their scriptures, when Jesus returned, most of the Jews are going to get destroyed. But they support Israel in the sense that Israel is the piece to their game, right? So they'll stand with those who don't believe in Jesus. Isn't that interesting? They'll stand with those who don't believe and reject Jesus. Because that's what I told you before, that this is part of that white racism that I'm talking about. That here they are, instead of standing with the Muslims and the Palestinian Christians who do believe in Jesus, they stand with those who are against Jesus. But why do they do that? Because, again, this is about white supremacy. They support the Israelis because the Israelis are the whites who are against the brown people, the Palestinians, whether they be Christian Palestinians or Muslim Palestinians. As long as it's against those brown people, even if those brown people believe in Jesus and these white Israelis don't, they rather stand with them against people who do believe in Jesus. So that's the white racist undertone that's part of this whole thing that's going on here, right? So if you read a lot of their works, you see that they don't really care for Israel. Right? They don't really care for it. They're only supporting it because, like I said, they feel that if they support Israel in going to war against the Palestinians and all this stuff like that, or in other countries in the Middle East, that this will make the return of Jesus come. That in other words, there'll be conflict there, and then this will cause Jesus to come back sooner. That's how sick they are in their religious fanaticism. Right? So they think this is going to make Jesus come back. But of course, I was reading an article before that talked about, and again, this is if you go back to some of my older videos, you'll see where I have articles that talk about this. That in their Christian end times belief, it mentions that many of the Jews will be destroyed. So that means they don't really give a damn about Israel. Israel is just a piece in their game. You're expendable, Israel. Right? And then I read, it's funny too, because then I was reading, they asked the opinion of some Israelis about that. And guess what the response was? The response was that basically, oh, we don't really care about that. You know, it's fake. And according to the Israelis, they don't really care because, you know, they don't believe in that nonsense anyway. That's what they say. We don't believe in that nonsense anyway. But as long as they're supporting, that's all that they care about. See? So they basically diss the Christian belief. Oh, that's nonsense. Jesus isn't coming back. It's nonsense. But hey, as long as they support us, that's all we care about. So I was like, wow. So both sides are playing each other, really, right? Both sides are playing each other. Neither one really cares about the other, as long as they can get their end game accomplished. So for the Christians, hey, we don't give a damn about the Israelis as long as we can get the return of Jesus, as long as we can make Jesus come back sooner. And for the Israelis, we don't give a damn about that Jesus. He's nobody to us. He's fake. He's false. But hey, as long as you give us that money and support our country and support us, that's all we care about. So it's like, wow, that's pretty amazing. You see? But like I said, you ask yourself that question. How does that make sense that you would support a people who have rejected your Lord and Savior? How is it that you support a people who reject, you stand with a people who reject your Lord and Savior? Some even insult your Lord and Savior. I've even seen videos of Israelis, you know, disrespecting Christian missionaries, spitting at them, spitting on the name of Jesus and stuff like this. But these dummies still stand in support of them. But again, as I told you why they do that. Because to them, it's more of a white supremacist thing. That overrules everything. The white supremacy overrules everything. So even though the Muslims believe in Jesus, even though the Palestinian Christians believe in Jesus, they will stand with the white Israelis against their own Christian Palestinian brothers and sisters. They don't care that the Palestinian Christians are being abused along with the Muslim ones. Right? Their own Christian brothers who are Palestinian are being abused right along with the Muslim Palestinians. But they don't give a damn because you're not white. You Palestinian Christians, you're not white. You're not white. So they don't really give a damn about you. They'll stand with these white Israelis against you, even though you are supposed to be their brothers in faith. You're supposed to be their brothers and sisters believing in that same Christ. But they stand with the enemies of Christ. You see? So, you know, that's what it comes down to when you look at the whole bigger game here. So, you know, as I'm saying, is that, yeah, Lamont Hill, right? You mentioned Lamont Hill, same thing, right? Exactly. That's the game. That's the whole game that's playing on. You notice everybody got to apologize. You criticize, and same thing with him. He didn't say nothing wrong. He had a legitimate criticism for Israel, but they were quick to shut his ass up and make his ass apologize. See? But it's funny though how some of these same people run around promoting anti-Muslim bigotry, and that's okay. And that's okay though. See? You can run around and with anti-Muslim bigotry, oh, but no need to apologize. Right? No need to apologize for that. But don't you dare criticize Israel. See? Don't you dare criticize Israel. Then you're against all Jews, right? You can't just be against Israel, right? It can't be the fact that Israel is legitimately committing, or that your criticism of Israel is legitimate in that they are oppressing and mistreating the Palestinians. Can't just be that, right? It has to be, oh, you're just anti. No, how about you address the issue? Is not Israel doing stuff wrong, committing human rights violations? Are they not? So no, that means it's not about Jews. It's about what Israel is doing. But you're right. Yeah, you brought up Lamont Hill. Same thing with him. Mark Lamont Hill, they made him apologize. It's like you can't criticize, man. It's like you can't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't criticize Israel at all. But that's how powerful the money is. The lobbyists are. And see that, and again, when they do that, that's what keeps the concerns, the criticism from being further explored. See? That's what keeps the criticisms from being further acknowledged. That's their deflection. That's their distraction from the facts by charging you. Oh, so then once you do that, now forget about what I legitimately said. That's why you got to stay on your square. You got to stay on your point. Don't let them get away with that. Keep pushing the issue. Say, nope. Tell me you're going to address this issue. Is not Israel committing violations against the human rights violations against Palestinians? And keep pushing it. Keep saying it. Keep pushing it. Right? Keep saying it and keep pushing it. Don't let them distract you with this anti-Semitic garbage. Say, nope. Nope, I'm not against Jews. I'm talking about what Israel is doing wrong against Palestinians. And stay on it. Keep drilling it and drilling it and drilling it. And make them address it. Make them face it. That's what you got to do. Can't let them distract you with that nonsense. Because that's all that is. That's all that is a way to shut you up, distract you and the public, and get you away from further pulling out the point, the legitimate point, that Israel is wrong in what it's doing. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to, brothers and sisters, you know. So, like I said, the sister, I'm glad that she still got her point. And matter of fact, here's another article too. Let me show you this one, where after she apologized, she had tweeted somebody else who basically backed up her point. Backed up her point. Let me show you that one. Let me show you that one. Now again, they still tried to run the Jewish conspiracy garbage. That's the game they play. That's the game they want to play. But here's the article right here. Here's the article right here. It says that the title. Hold on a second. Let me scroll it back up. Hold on a second. Let me refresh that so you can see the title. Here's the article right here. It says that she had, after her apology, she then tweeted another tweet of somebody who had supported her. Hold on a second here. What's going on here? Get to the article. But basically, this article was talking about how she tweeted a person who was, I guess, part of a campaign, a political campaign, and he acknowledges that, yeah, that the Israeli lobbyists had came to the campaign, offered money, told them what they had to do, how they had to be in support of Israel or whatever the case may be. And then she retweeted that as a proof of them backing up her, oh, here it is right here. My bad. Okay, I see it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. It says, hours after apology, Ilhan Omar retweets thread denouncing Pelosi pushing Jewish money claims. Now, they put the Jewish money claims, but no, that's not what she wasn't talking. Again, that's the game. That's the game. It's not about the Jewish money claims. It's about the Israeli lobbyist claim. That's what she's pushing. But they throw that, they put the Jewish thing to, again, like I said, to distract you and make it seem like she's running some the Jewish conspiracy thing about the Jews control. No, she's talking about the Israeli lobby specifically. So it says, just hours after apologizing for making comments deemed anti-Semitic, Representative Ilhan Omar retweeted a thread defending her claim that campaign contributions from the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee buy support for the group's positions. Omar praised the writer Adi Barkan, who told of being a staffer on a long shot congressional campaign in 2006, when the candidate agreed to take stances on two issues in exchange for a maximum contribution from AIPAC, which is the Israeli lobby. And then she thanked him. She said, "Your courage can't be matched. I am often in tears thinking about how you won't be with us in this fight and how I am going to miss your presence and courage." So, this person that she tweeted, there's the tweet right there. There's the tweet right there where she retweeted Mr. Andy or Adi Barkan, in that he was backing her up, and that, yeah, he's saying, yeah, I was working, with the campaign staff, and yeah, we got approached by the Israeli lobby, and they said that, look, we'll give you the maximum contribution if you do this for us. See, so they want to cover that up. And see, notice this article tried to slander it by saying, oh, is that she's still pushing the Jewish thing. No, why won't they acknowledge that what she's doing is she's pushing the Israeli lobbyist thing, not Jewish. She didn't say nothing about no Jewish nothing. Neither did the tweet. The tweet is clearly talking about the Israeli lobby and how they influence politicians. But no, even this article of the Washington Times trying to say, oh, that she's still trying to push the Jewish conspiracy thing. See how devilish they are? See how devilish they are? When clearly the tweet is not about any Jewish nothing. It's about the Israeli lobby specifically influencing politicians to support Israel, which is a foreign country, and they should have no dealings in our government's operations at all. They should not be able to influence politicians whatsoever. It's supposed to be working for us, the American citizens, not from some foreign entity, some foreign country. What is that? What the hell is that? So that's why these things need to be changed, man. That's why she's pushing for that. These lobbyists and stuff needs to be changed. Same things with Alexandria Cortez. These things need to be changed. So as I was saying, that she told the truth. There's evidence to back it up. We know, and again, these facts are out there. You can search about these lobbies, right? You can search. You can do the search about this, and you'll see that there definitely is some truth to the fact that the Israeli lobby is out there, along with other lobbyist groups that are influencing our politicians in the United States. So it's not a conspiracy, it's a fact. It's a fact. And of course, her being a Muslim, she's concerned about her Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine, rightfully so. And now that she's in a position as a lawmaker, right? Someone who has some some working ability in the United States government, should she not be concerned about what our country is doing with their involvement against her Muslim brothers and sisters in support of a country that's violating the rights of Muslim brothers and sisters? Is that not right for her to do that? Right? We agree. It's nothing wrong with that. So once again, she was condemned for telling the truth, and the powers that be are scared. They're scared of this truth. But as I said, I hope that more young people get involved, young people get elected, young people who are conscious of what's going on in this country and around the world, and will speak out and change U.S. policy in regard to its support of these violators of human rights. All right. Let's see. So before we finish up, Legend Killer, you want me to do a refutation of Acts 17? What are you talking about now? Called Muhammad So White. Understanding the Quran. All right. Is that a new video that they made? What is that? Is that one of their older videos? Is that a new video? It says, why are almost all anti-Muslim bigots Christians and not? Well, a lot of them are Christians too. A lot of them are Christians too. It seems like in this regard, the Christians and the atheists are together. But again, as I said, it deals with this. It all boils down to this white supremacist attitude. So whether they're atheists or whether they're Christians, that's the thing they have in common is that they see that it's about standing against these brown people or these black people. Well, I already explained that, Legend. I explained that very well. Why they do that? You know what I'm saying? Why they stand with them against the people who believe in Jesus, right? What's this called? Islam Critique. All right, yeah, no problem. Hey, but as I said, by the way, before I forget, since you're speaking on that, um, I'm looking for people to join my Patreon, and that's one of the things that I offer in support. If you want me to do these videos on some of those things that you're requesting personally, join my Patreon and support my platform, bro. Become a Patreon and support my platform. And I give where if you want me to deal with certain things that you want personally to be dealt with, you know, support my Patreon platform, and you can suggest certain people that you want me to make responses to. It's in the description of this video right here. You can join my Patreon, and that's one of the things that I offer for certain levels of Patreon support. That people who support me at certain levels, I give you a chance to suggest or give me certain questions you want me to answer or certain people that you want me to directly respond to and things like that. That's what the Patreon is for, bro or sister. So help me out, help the brother out. Right? I'm bringing you good content here. I've been bringing good content for years. Right? I've been bringing good content. I bring my debates to you. I make responses to certain things. But if you want me to deal with things that you want personally or specifically, then please support my platform. Join the Patreon page, and like I said, I offer those certain things for people who support me. So I'm asking for your support. All right. So yeah, I'm looking for some. Again, I repeat, I'm looking for people to support my Patreon. I right now only got one person, and may Allah reward that person. But I'm looking for more. Right? I'm looking for more people to join the Patreon. Just like I said, the link is in the description of this video. Click on it. It'll take you to the website. You can join. It'll give you all the things you need to know to join on what level of a pledge you want to make, and this will help support my work on an ongoing basis. If you don't want to do that, you can always make single donations to through my website, which is listed in the descriptions below. I also have direct where you can donate directly through PayPal. Again, you can purchase my book, which is available as a paperback and as an ebook on Amazon, which is entitled "He Never Was God: How Scripture Shows Jesus Was Fully a Man and Not God." You can support us through purchasing our DVB entitled Takia, The Lie They Made Against Islam, in which we present thorough and detailed information on and refute the claims that these bigots have made that Takia is supposedly some type of ideology within Islam that supposedly allows Muslims to lie to non-Muslims in order to promote Islam. That is a complete fabricated lie, and I provide the thorough and detailed facts from the Quran, from scholars, hadith, whatever needs to be shown to show these people that that is a lie, that no Islamic source teaches that. So if you want to support and get something in return, you can do that. If you want to give a selfless donation, then like I said, you have my Twitter, you have my PayPal listed, you have my website, and you have the Patreon. The Patreon, like I said, allows you to donate and there's certain levels that you can donate on depending on the amount of the pledge you want to get. And I'm offering certain things for people who donate at a certain level. And one of the things that I'm offering is that, like I said, if you want me to specifically address somebody or refute a specific question that you have, please donate to the Patreon, and I'll be glad to, I have that where you can offer something once a month or 2 or 3 times a month, depending on what level you give. If you want me to make a certain video refuting somebody specifically that you recommend, the Patreon is there. Please support the brother, which is me, in the work that I do. You know, I've been working consistently, been doing this for years. So my track record is there. It speaks for itself. So you know that it's there. All I'm asking for is your support so I can do more work. That's it. I'm just asking for more support so I can do more of this kind of work that you all appreciate. All right. So with that being said, we're going to sign off from here. And again, show your support too, by the way, for the sister. You know what I mean? Show your support to the sister. Let her know that, that we're out here and that we're in her corner regarding this issue. And so, show the sister your support. Let her know that we're there for her. All right. With that, I'm signing off. Appreciate you guys watching. For those who watch watch this video at a later time, please remember that you can donate anytime with the links provided in the video. You can purchase the book anytime, the DVB anytime. They're all there all the time, and they can be, if you can't do it now while the live show is going on, if you watch it at a later time, you can always go to those links. They're always there. And again, we appreciate your support. May Allah reward you for those who do support. All right. Assalamu alaikum.